You are all welcome to today's news analysis. This is not noise. This is not hype. This is a deep, calm, and honest talk about Nigeria and 2027. Before we go deep, please don't forget to subscribe to this channel, turn on the notification bell, and like this video. That small action helps this message reach more Nigerians who want truth, not drama. Now let us begin. Today is not about shouting. It is not about hate. It is about facts, feelings, and the direction of our country. Nigeria is at a point where silence feels heavy. Everywhere you turn, people are talking. In buses. In shops. In homes. Online and offline. The question is simple. Where are we going? That is why today matters. One voice has entered the conversation with force and clarity. That voice is Kenneth. Kenneth did not whisper. He did not hint. He spoke openly and directly. He looked at President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and made a bold claim. He said Tinubu will not return in 2027. Not as an insult. Not as a threat. But as a reading of the mood of the people. This is important. Because elections are not just about power. They are about trust. And trust is built by results. Kenneth's words did not come from thin air. They came from what Nigerians live with every day. People wake up early. They work hard. They struggle. Yet life keeps getting harder. This is the background of his message. When Kenneth spoke, he spoke as someone watching the streets, not just helping a party. He spoke as someone listening to people, not just reading reports. And that is why his statement is causing strong reactions. He said 2027 will not favor Tinubu. He said Nigerians will not support what they feel has failed them. That is a serious claim. Because Nigeria is not short of patience. But patience has limits. Over time, people expect progress. They expect safety. They expect food to be within reach. They expect leaders to understand their pain. Kenneth's message touches a nerve because many Nigerians already feel ignored. This is not about party lines. It is about daily life. When parents struggle to feed their families, politics becomes personal. When young people search for work with no hope, promises lose value. When fear follows people on the road, speeches mean little. This is the space where Kenneth spoke from. He did not say people are angry just for fun. He said people are tired. Tired of waiting. Tired of excuses. Tired of being told to endure without seeing change. And this is where 2027 comes in. Kenneth believes that elections are mirrors. They reflect how people feel. If people feel safe, they vote with calm. If people feel fed, they vote with hope. If people feel respected, they vote with trust. But when people feel pushed aside, they vote with memory. And memory is powerful. It remembers hunger. It remembers fear. It remembers broken words. That is why his statement is not just political talk. It is social talk. It is emotional talk. Some people agree with him. Some people do not. That is normal. But what cannot be ignored is this. His message matches a growing public feeling. Nigeria today is asking questions. Hard questions. Are we safer than before? Is life easier? Is the future clearer? These questions do not need shouting answers. They need honest ones. Kenneth's words force this discussion into the open. Not to divide, but to reflect. And as we move closer to 2027, more voices will rise. More opinions will clash. More debates will happen. But the heart of it all remains the same. Nigeria wants leadership that works. Nigeria wants leaders who listen. Nigeria wants results, not reasons. This is why this topic matters. This is why this analysis matters. And this is why you should stay with me till the end. Because this conversation is just beginning. Now let us go deeper. Kenneth did not make his statement without reasons. He did not stop at prediction. He explained why he believes Tinubu will not win in 2027. And this is where the message becomes sharp. First, he spoke about insecurity. He said a country cannot move forward when people live in fear. When parents worry every time their children step outside. When travelers pray before every journey. When farmers fear their own land. According to Kenneth, insecurity has touched every corner of the nation. Big cities. Small towns. Villages. And what hurts more, he said, is not just the crime. It is the feeling that nothing is changing. When leaders speak, people listen. But when the danger remains, people stop believing. Kenneth believes Nigerians are tired of hearing that things will improve soon. They want to feel safe now. Then he moved to poverty. This part was heavy. He said poverty is no longer a story. It is daily life. Food prices rise almost every week. Transport costs drain pockets. Rent feels impossible. Savings disappear fast. He said people are not lazy. They are working hard. But hard work no longer brings comfort. That is a painful truth for many Nigerians. According to Kenneth, a government should reduce suffering, not explain it away. When leaders talk about figures while people count losses, the gap grows. He said hunger has a loud voice. And it speaks louder than speeches. Then came corruption. Kenneth said corruption is the wound Nigeria never treats fully. New faces come in. Old habits stay. He did not accuse for drama. He spoke from history. He said Nigerians have heard many promises about fighting corruption. But what they see does not match what they hear. When people see waste, favoritism, and silence, trust breaks. And once trust breaks, elections change. After laying these points, Kenneth turned to the future. He said Nigerians are not confused about 2027. They are watching. They are learning. They are comparing. This is where Peter Obi came into the picture. Kenneth did not praise Obi with emotion alone. He praised him with contrast. He said Obi represents calm in a noisy space. Planning in a country tired of guessing. Numbers in a nation tired of stories. According to Kenneth, Obi speaks like someone who understands limits. He talks about cutting waste. About managing resources. About discipline. Kenneth said many Nigerians see Obi as someone who respects their intelligence. Not talking down on them. Not distracting them. And then he made a strong statement. He said Obi remains the best option for Nigeria at this time. Not because Obi is perfect. But because Nigeria needs order, not chaos. Direction, not confusion. Then came the line that shook many people. Kenneth said no Nigerian will willingly vote for Tinubu in the next election. That sentence is bold. It is risky. It is direct. But Kenneth stood by it. He said when people suffer, loyalty fades. When promises fail, support weakens. He said votes are emotional. They come from memory. And the current memory for many Nigerians is pain. This is not about hate for one man. It is about disappointment in leadership. Kenneth believes Nigerians will vote based on how they feel today, not how they were promised yesterday. And that is why this chapter matters. Because it shows the shift. From hope to review. From patience to demand. From waiting to deciding. Whether people agree with Kenneth or not, his words reflect a serious moment. A moment where Nigerians are no longer quiet. They are asking hard questions. And they want honest answers. This is not the end of the story. This is the middle. Now we come to the final part. This is where emotion meets reality. This is where talk meets consequence. Elections do not happen in a vacuum. They happen in memory. People do not vote based on slogans alone. They vote based on experience. That is the core of Kenneth's message. He believes 2027 will not be about party strength or loud campaigns. It will be about daily life. How safe do people feel? How full are their homes? How hopeful are their children? These questions will decide everything. Power can protect itself for a while, but it cannot hide from the people forever. When the gap between leaders and citizens grows too wide, something breaks. That something is trust. And once trust is gone, speeches lose weight. Kenneth's warning is not dramatic. It is practical. He is saying this government will be judged, not explained. Measured, not defended. People will not forget how they felt during hard times. They will not forget hunger. They will not forget fear. They will not forget feeling ignored. These things sit deep. That is why 2027 matters more than past elections. Nigerians are more aware, more connected, more willing to question power. They no longer clap for words alone. They look for proof. This is where leadership truly shows. Not in comfort, but in pressure. Not in applause, but in accountability. Kenneth believes the next election will be a message. A message from the people to those in power. Not violent. Not hateful. But firm. A message that says performance matters. And in that message, he sees Peter Obi as a symbol. Not of miracles, but of structure. Not of magic, but of discipline. He believes Nigerians want a leader who respects systems, who plans carefully, who speaks clearly. Someone who understands that governance is not a show. It is responsibility. Whether this vision will win is not certain. But the desire behind it is real. Nigeria is no longer asleep. People are watching policies. They are counting costs. They are comparing choices. And when decision day comes, emotions will guide the pen. Not anger alone, but memory. This is the truth many leaders forget. You can delay change. You can control narratives. But you cannot erase experience. Kenneth's voice may be one voice, but it echoes many feelings. Feelings of disappointment. Feelings of demand. Feelings of hope for something better. This is not a call to hate. It is a call to reflect. Nigeria stands at a line. One side is the past. The other is a choice. And that choice will be made by the people. Not by force. Not by fear. But by memory. As we bring this discussion to a close, one thing is clear. Nigeria is no longer in a season of blind hope. It is in a season of deep thinking. People are no longer asking who is loud. They are asking who is useful. This is the shift Kenneth is pointing at. For many Nigerians, life has become a daily test. Not because they lack strength, but because leadership has not eased the weight. Every day, people make choices between food and transport, between safety and movement, between staying hopeful and giving up. These are not political theories. They are real moments in real homes. That is why voices like Kenneth's are gaining attention. Not because they insult power, but because they reflect pain. And pain speaks. 2027 will not be about who controls the stage. It will be about who understands the streets. It will not be about how long someone has been in power. It will be about what they did with that power. Nigerians are watching closely now. They are listening beyond promises. They are reading between the lines. This does not mean change is easy. It does not mean the road is clear. But it means people are awake. And an awake population is different. They ask questions. They demand answers. They compare leaders. That is the real power in a democracy. Kenneth's message, whether one agrees or not, forces reflection. It forces leaders to look in the mirror. It forces citizens to think about what they truly want. Not what they were told to want, but what they need. Security, stability, opportunity, dignity. These are not too much to ask. They are basic. As Nigeria moves forward, one truth remains. The future will not be shaped by anger alone. It will be shaped by awareness. By people who remember how things felt. By people who refuse to forget. Leadership is not a title. It is a responsibility. And responsibility comes with judgment. In the end, Nigerians will decide. Not based on noise. Not based on fear. But based on experience. That is the power of the people. If you have stayed with me till this point, thank you. Your time matters. Your voice matters. If this analysis reflects how you feel, share it. Talk about it. Debate it. Because silence helps no one. Nigeria's story is still being written. And every citizen holds a pen.